Hello and welcome to DC30 and our Mythic Odyssey of Theros, D&D with an ancient Greek twist. I am your dungeon master, Red Nova. Oh, sorry, not Thurn. I keep forgetting to do that. Electrum, I guess you can call me. And I'm joined by my lovely players as always. Virla as Hilira, the human cleric. Mors as Squatinos, the satyr bard. Rebecca as Bithynia, the human warlock, and Violet as Amalia, the Leonin fighter. Welcome everyone. So, where last we left off, you guys had finally successfully ventured the entire length of the lair of this, what you discovered to be an Eater of Hope, a dreaded fiend from the underworld that preys on joy and eats it like a life force until there's nothing left. This Eater of Hope had been behind a nefarious plot to breed addiction into the cities of Theros and thus harvest all their treasure, wealth, and ultimately bring about the ends of many of these people. Violent and climactic battle ensued, wherein the monster was finally slain once and for all. The people's treasure was returned to them in Meletis, but not before you guys walked away with a generous recompense for your time and effort, as well as many treasures that had been looted from the inside of the complex, or the cavernous complex itself. It's the morning of about 7 days later at this point in time, after you guys have just stepped out of the Crucible after having arrived that day in the city. So I guess you guys would still be in the Crucible because you were just getting your those objects identified. So the day is yours, Tempest. What would you like to do?
Have I rejoined the group after helping Penelope by this point?
Oh, yes. So, yeah, at this point, yeah.
Well, to the tavern? Or does anyone have anything else they want to do? I just want to drink, to be honest.
Where were you? Where were you?
With Penelope.
Who's that? I don't know them.
She is the resident alchemist
Okay.
in Meletis. She was responsible for helping manufacture or identify that the liquor that was plaguing the town was not alchemical in nature, but was a magical curse of some kind.
Is she pretty?
She has her allure.
Okay, I need to get some diamonds, by the way, just to answer your question. But I would love to meet this person.
I'm okay. She might not be your cup of tea or ale. Or what is it you drink?
I don't know. I don't think I've ever really drank. Maybe now's the time to try. Where do we want to go? You want to go to the cabin? You want to drink? I want to get diamonds to save your life. What's the priority?
Well, if you're asking Scotty, drinking is a priority.
Well,
Calliope at this point chimes in. Guys, we're richer than I think I've certainly ever been. We should do something nice.
You mean drinking at the tavern isn't nice?
Calliope pinches the bridge of her nose. I meant, like, buy nice things, like magic things, or
Oh.
fancy things, or... I mean,
Well,
you don't have to, I just figured...
well, I imagine most of my share might get tied up in continuing
Drinking.
my study. Well, that too, to be honest. But no, Penelope is helping teach me some of the fundamentals of alchemy, and I'm getting less terrible. She says her words. I think that's a good sign.
She sounds very nice and very supportive.
Yeah. 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 Yes. Yes. Very supportive. That.
We could get a new weapon for Amalia.
Didn't you
Ooh.
already have the expandable axe? Or did
What
we say no to
expandable
that
axe?
last time?
We
We
said
said
no
no.
to that.
Oh right. The axe that got big and then got small.
Like a little teeny beeny axe. And then like a big axe. And then like a super big axe. Yeah, we said no to that.
I mean, all of those axes are huge.
To you, because you're tiny. Or
I'm the
tiny,
same
oh.
size as. Okay, say tiny arms. That's.
You are
not me.
100% not the same size as the Leonin.
Kind
You're
of.
not small, but you're not the same size
When
as
standing on my hooves and rearing up. Okay, fine.
I'm looking down at you. Like
She
down.
is 7 feet tall.
She a big kitty cat.
Shouldn't we also do something about this head that we have, our head souvenir, that Amalia's carrying right now?
Oh yes. If no one wants it, I will have it. But if someone else wants it, then that's fine. But if no one wants it, I'll definitely use it.
Use
What?
it for.
What do you want to do with it?
Well, it was a magical being. It could do some pretty crazy things. It probably, its innards probably have some properties that could be harnessed for potions. I mean, the blood alone could unlock something. I just wanted to see if there. I was going to offer it up to see, while I'm studying with Penelope, if there's anything in its head that hasn't been crushed to death. Like its brain might be useful. I mean, I'll try and keep this. If you want the skull kept mostly intact, I could kind of just boil it, I guess, and then give you the bleached skull.
I think that's the smartest thing you have ever said to me. Here you go. Hands over the head.
Hey!
I'll imagine armor with skulls on it. You would look so cool, Amalia. I agree with this, and you can have the head, Scutinos. Anything for love.
I guess. Yeah, I'm not wrong. I'm gonna. And I kind of awkwardly shuffle off at a fair pace back to Penelope's.
Okay.
I'm not hiding, so people are following they can, but I'm just heading off to Penelope's now.
Cool, you guys following him to Penelope's?
Yes, probably.
Very well. Oh wait, that's the wrong ambience. Sorry, 1 second. Oh, cool. So easy enough. So yeah, Hilliard, you're kind of tagging along. You've never been to Melites before. You're a little... Actually, sorry, you've been once or twice, but never really explored it. This is much bigger city than you're normally accustomed to. Your hometown is busy and built, but it's a bit more vertical than it is expansive, and certainly doesn't have such a spiraling port. So you're just taking in all this. It almost has a hive quality to it, just people of all races just it's a lot to take in as you're wandering through these city streets behind these guys. But eventually they lead you not far actually from the Crucible, Daxos's shop, to a little alcove type shop that's almost nestled between two larger buildings. Secret of Sundries, Penelope's shop. And as you guys step inside, Hilira, you see a... your senses are assaulted by the smell of peppermint and saffron and other really thick, powerful spices and scents and ichors. Something that you swear almost smells like burnt insect at one point. And you blink back a couple of tears as your eyes begin to water, and you see the shop is almost like a longish tunnel of about 30 feet that is just lined with these shelves and racks and things where bottles and ointments and jars and taxidermied animals and all sorts of alchemical and witchy type of substances and items are crammed into every nook and cranny along this long building, or this long structure. And at the other end, you see a small countertop that, attended by a human woman who looks to be in her late 20s, maybe early 30s. Raven black hair that goes down her to just past her clavicle area with a bangs. But she has this sort of almost like a hood, but it's very tight-fitting and round that goes to just above her eyes. And these sort of the hood is made of a green fabric, and these little gold-threaded tassels dangle in a countless row off the hood, sort of almost like something that obscures the eyes. And she has an attractive quality to her. She slightly more fair of skin. She seems to have taken what looks to be like ash and mixed it with ink to sort of create this eyeliner that she paints around her eyes and creates slightly more elongated wingtips. It's got a, sort of like a dark quality to her. She's in the process of shelling what looks to be some sort of horseshoe crab type creature. She just takes this long bronze, half scalpel, half ice cream scoop thing, and just extracts the meat from its shell and just slops it into a bowl and just turns to look up as hearing the door open. Oh, welcome. What can I do for you?
Out of panic, Hilira is gonna cast Disguise Self and make herself not look disgusting. That's my panic spell, and I'm gonna be like, "Hi, are you Penelope? I've heard so much about you, but not enough, and you're so pretty. What are you doing?"
When you say not look disgusting, did you look disgusting before?
I don't know. We just spent at least a week in a dungeon. I imagine I look pretty gross.
Fair enough. And there's no way to smell you guys over all the scents in the room, so yeah, no, you're covered. So you do it out of panic, because you're like, oh, thank you. There's no need for glamours in here. I know what the adventuring life entails, but, whatever makes you happy, I'm well. I don't believe we've met.
No, I don't think we have. Do you know everybody here? And I'll just distance to the people around me.
About that point, Scutins will probably slowly walk in with a sort of like a slight smile, bow his head. Yeah.
Ah, yes, Tempest, what can I do for you?
Well, I myself have come with gifts and tools for further experimentation. But I believe the rest just wanted to make sure that I wasn't running off to do something nefarious, or more so than usual.
I assure you, he's much more harmless than he looks. She says to you, Helena.
You know, the first time I met him, he asked to draw my blood. So, you know.
That does remind me, I
Oh,
have
unsettling to be sure, but ultimately not nefarious.
I have used that blood since, so at some point we will have a conversation, but we can rest for now. So this is the beast of
He
the.
sees it and beckons you bring it over. And
Okay, I was
she
gonna
holds it up.
Okay, so this is the creature whose blood I shared with you earlier.
It's got a bit of heft to it, so she buckles slightly.
Yeah.
She's not the strongest person in the world, but
Yep.
this is truly fantastic.
The materials within. Well, as always, if you can tell me a little about what they can do, I'll always be intrigued. My companions would like something of a trophy left once its worthy components have been drawn out. But other than that, I have no further need of it.
A trophy I can promise. Truly wonderful. Thank you. I shall get to work immediately.
All in her name for experimentation. He smiles and nods, and I, as you do that, I'm going to then move off to. I imagine I've kind of like had like this really crappy corner desk, in the side where I've been kind of like studging myself, and I'm going to kind of retreat back to there, and I'm going to continue whatever the last project I was doing, which probably would be a combination of deciphering the bits of the copy of the cursed liquid that I'd brought down, and you're sort of like dissecting it, separating the bits that are important.
Okie dokie. We can hop to that. Is there anything else anybody wishes to do in this shop?
I'm gonna ask Penelope if I can get the teeth of the Ether of Hope, if they have any.
Yeah, he's got a row. He's got several nice jagged little teeth in his mouth. Penelope says, "I can extract them. Certainly, it may detract slightly from the trophy. I had planned to preserve the skull in its entirety, but if that's not a problem."
I need to ask Amalia that if what she would prefer, because I said that she could maybe make some armor with like the skull, like for like the shoulders, but I thought maybe with the teeth I could make like a pretty like thing, like banner, and you know I could give it to Skitinos as a gift to like put up on his workplace. But if you can't do that, then it's fine.
Don't you worry, says a weird voice from the desk, and you suddenly realise that once again he's picked up the skull of Clancy, and he's kind of like chattering away. It's now placed on the side of the desk. I'm all the trophy he ever needs.
I do wish you would stop talking to that thing.
I wish you would grow a second nose. This place eeks in here. Clancy. Sorry, I can't. And
Calliope just gives you a death glare. No, not Calliope, sorry, Penelope. And
yeah, and I'll kind of
just cocks one eyebrow, like, yeah, sure this is the way you want to do this. And just returns to, very well, I shall extract the teeth and put them aside as a separate. And she begins pulling out a series of instruments, what looks to be like some sort of long hook, blade after blade after blade, and guys can stay and watch her work, or if you have other things to do.
I'm gonna wander out and try and find diamonds.
Okay. Anybody going with her?
Eudokia, do you want to come with me?
Oh, I I suppose I don't have anything else to do.
Have you been here before? Because I haven't, so...
Oh, yes,
I've
I've been here once or twice.
Great. Can I just hold you? Because it's very busy around these streets and it's a little bit intimidating.
Very well, not to worry, and she goes with you.
Okay, thank you. Bye, Penelope.
Alright, he let her make a investigation check.
A dirty 20.
Oh, okay. It's not terribly difficult. You're led to some of these slightly more affluent areas of town, and you're able to find this one jewelry shop that you are told will also sell diamonds separately for the purposes of material components.
Okay.
It's surprising because it's this is the more affluent area of town, to be definite, but it's a slightly smaller building that looks slightly more dilapidated, all things considered. Not in like a terrible way, it just looks a little loved, so to speak. It's a relatively small stone building with a little red clay roof. You go inside and everything's sort of been ramshackly put into place, almost as if it kind of just been stuffed wherever it would stay. Most of the items for display are in these glass cages, or in these glass displays that, again, are just moved around, and you see scratch marks all over the actual glass cases, which is slightly weird. But you do see on the wall decorations that look slightly off, like ornamental spears and long cloaks and tapestries of fine, different sort of more tribalistic weaves. And behind the counter you see a female Leonin who seems a bit long in the tooth, has slightly like sort of like a white-gray frame around the face. Big section of one ear missing.
Hello. Sorry, could you help me with something, please?
Sure thing, little one.
Okay, so I'm looking for diamonds for spells.
Oh,
That's what I need.
well, you came to the right place, little girl. All right, all right.
Okay.
How many diamonds you looking for?
Okay, well, I have 432 gold worth of jewels. Would you take that as an exchange for diamond?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we can do something with that.
Okay.
Are you looking for exactly that amount? Gold worth, or?
I'm looking for 2 diamonds that are each separately worth 300 gold pieces.
She rifles through one of the drawers behind the counter. Oh, I got this one that's yeah, I'll do that one for you around. Yeah, I'd say it's 300. And she puts that one on the counter. For the others, though, do you need one whole one at 300, or do you just need a collective worth? Because she starts setting out diamonds of various different sizes, and these ones seem a bit smaller and cloudier, but she starts putting a bunch of them on it. And eventually she has about like 7 extra diamonds of like a smaller, lower quality. Because these ones will probably add up to another 300 there, but, you know. What are the specifics?
I don't think I can do that with the particular spell I'm looking for. I think I need 1, because I've looked this up.
Point of clarification from the DM, it does specify diamonds worth 300 gold pieces, which the spell consumes. So, as long as you have as long as the collective value is 300 gold pieces, it would still work.
So I can have little pieces as well. Okay, great,
Exactly.
thank you.
Cool, she wraps them up in a neat little coin purse bag for you, and alright, that'll be 650.
600.
Yeah, and I'm selling them to you at cost because you said that's what they're worth. I'll run a business here. Extracting
Well-
diamonds ain't cheap.
But no, I won't pay that. I'll just take the 300 one then, and I'm never coming back. You are a terrible shopkeep.
That'll still be 350, dear.
No! Fine, I'll take the 2. You rip off. And I give her exactly 650? Yes.
650, yeah.
Okay, great. I'll take that out in a minute because I need to subtract it with the jewels. Rip off.
She has this like little raspy growl, like, come again soon.
You know what? You're very rude. Wait till my father hears about this.
Make a perception check.
Oh no. Perception. Uh, 16.
As you leave the shop, you swear you hear just very low under someone's breath, humans.
Very rude.
Cool, you now have 600 gold worth of diamonds. Terrific. Scotty, while you're poring over the notes that you transcribed with Bithynia's help, go ahead and make a Arcana check.
Okay. That is 15 total.
Okay, you're slowly but surely getting a sense of what the meat and bones of the process is to create this Lycophos liquor, and there's a section that isn't covered in a tremendous amount of detail, and you get the sense it was left vague on purpose, which is specifically a cursing process etched into magical fountains, or sort of like these magical fountains crafted specifically for the purpose of desecrating water into an sort of unholy liquid that can then be refined and added to. The rest of the process is not dissimilar from other distillery methods. The main arcane potion is in the actual desecration of water that is from a cavernous source. The steps from there seem to be based around using vegetable matter and other things like that to sort of boil it down into a kind of moonshine, essentially. But then there are arcane processes that you're starting to become acquainted with to bond the desecrated liquor into this, the desecrated water into the distilled liquor, and sort of like a weird hybrid or homogeneous process.
Am I seeing any correlation at all, or any similarities between this process and the magical plague from Thassa? Comparing it between that and the other notes. Okay, it's like it's a completely separate.
No, fair enough.
Cool.
No, the Red Sea Plague was very specifically a disease that was enhanced and created through magical means. This, inversely, is a curse. It has more in common with a potion.
Okay. Cool. As I will continue working that. I will have donated 2 of the vials of the blood of woe by this point to Penelope for various, like, just for experimentation purposes. And I was working, find out whether or not any of the other donations in the past, the Eyes of Woe and not the eyes of woe, the woe strider eyes, the rust monster blood, or anything, and see if there's any other potential, like any other new discoveries have been, or new properties have been uncovered in the time we've been away.
She, Calliope informs you that the woe strider eyes in particular, she has a sense that they may at some point able to be developed into a potion that, if drank, could cause misfortune in the drinker. As in, temporarily severing someone slightly from the strands of fate.
Oh, that is interesting. Of all of ones, do let me know if you do manage to, if you have any success with that. And if you need any test subjects, I fancy my luck.
I shall keep that in mind, but still a long way to go. This is not a small thing to undertake, but I've got the right thread to pull, so I'm working hard. What were the other things that you presented, other than the head or the blood, obviously?
So the stuff from the Woe Strider, we had the rust monster blood. We had, oh god, it's been a while now. Oh, I called it the monster eye stalk eyes. The eye stalks, yeah.
Spectator.
Yeah.
She does inform you that there is a process to create a new spectator out of 4 of those eye stalks. So if we somehow were able to acquire a 4th, we could make a whole new one.
Noted.
In terms of magical properties and for these, I'm still a little unclear, unfortunately, but it may be possible to harvest the eyes and reanimate them slightly to use them as weapons. That would be getting into Daxos territory, however. But if that's something you're after, I could maybe collaborate. I'm sure he could write up some sort of cost for that, and we can see if that's something we can undertake.
Perhaps. For now, I should focus on at least getting more of this work undertaken. And I'm going to spend, I don't know how long we are spending in Meletis, but effectively until otherwise mentioned, like Scotinus will be spending his nights at the inn, drinking, being merry. I don't think anyone's told him about the stick yet, but then he will then come back to Penelope's and he's just going to work. I'm just going to try and keep getting the number down. Well, he still thinks it's a stick. He knows it's a wand, but he doesn't know what else it is. Yeah, because he wasn't there when it was today.
Oh, right, yeah.
Because I wasn't there when it was identified. But otherwise, I'm going to continue.
We can say Calliope would have told you at this point.
If no one wants it, he will certainly say, I can definitely see a use for this.
Calliope says to you, you're the only one dumb enough to be drunk during a fight, so it's all yours, as far as I'm concerned. What about you, Helida?
Well, I've never really drunk, so I don't know what it's like to be drunk, so
that sounds like a study we can both take part in together.
But not during a fight, so,
no.
Why don't you hold on to it for now, Scotty?
Yeah, that's fine.
They got that. And yeah, basically, I'm going to be spending evenings at the inn, and then just like the gold he has, he's putting towards more days' work of getting his proficiency in alchemy supplies.
Okay. Very well. Amalia, are you there? Is there anything you'd like to do? Amalia?
Well, Athenia's here, and she is not in need of anything, waiting for Daxos.
Okay, so you're heading back to Daxos to look for that item?
Yes.
Okay, easy enough. You head back to the Crucible, and You don't see him inside the shop when you head in there, but you do hear familiar metal clanging coming from where you know his workshop to be. And after a moment, you call out, and he steps out again, mopping the sweat off his brow. Oh, hi, Bethania. What can I help you with?
Oh, hey, I'm curious. Do you happen to have any pearls of power?
I haven't made one in a while, but I can check. And he starts rifling through the shelves.
Bethania kind of cocks her head, hoping that there's at least one, just one, and it's within the price range.
He, that's where I left it. And he, pulls up a, there was this one glass case that seems to contain, a few different magical rings, and he's like, I didn't know where I put it, so I stuck it here. And yeah, he pulls out a, singular, beautiful, iridescent pearl, which, alright, this is what you wanted, right?
If the price is right, yes.
700.
Ooh. 700 what?
Gold drachmi.
Cuddles.
Cuddles I have, indefinite amounts of. Gold, however. Do I have 700 gold? Curious.
If you don't, we need to talk about your money management. Because we just got a lot of gold.
Already lost it down at the slots.
There is still a small amount of the Thassa bounty that's tied up with the remaining party that was on that foray. I imagine that's probably going to be a conversation we should have with Amalia, Calliope, Scatinas, and probably Eslin.
Okay, so I guess I can take one.
Very well. And he hands you the pearl of power. Go ahead and mark off 700 gold.
Okay, thank you for doing business. And
I still have that quill if you want.
Is it in the that quill. Damn it. I would like the pearl. However,
I mean, that helmet you guys found kind of does the same thing as a pearl. You guys decide on who is gonna use that?
Well, the helmet and the pearl can be used in conjunction with one another.
Oh, of course, I just meant in terms of something to think about.
Okay, well, I've done my business with my pearl, and I think for now, shucks. Well, there is a rod potentially that I might want. No, I'm indecisive.
A rod.
Yeah, let me think. And she sits there to think or something. Trying to think of the name of it because it's on another character sheet in another campaign, so she's thinking really hard.
Is this something he showed you, or is this something from the Magic Item catalog in D&D?
D&D catalog.
Right.
Rod of the Pack Keeper, that's what it's called. +2.
Right. The +2 variant, so the rare variant. He thinks for a moment. I don't have that on hand, but that's something I can make with enough time.
Okay. Well, I know I kind of sprung it on you, so I appreciate your willingness to accommodate and or get me the information that you could or could not do it. I this pearl is now in a ring. Do I get to keep it in the ring, or?
Oh, so the pearl was not on the ring, it was just
Oh.
in the box that contained rings.
Okay.
Put it
Okay.
on a ring if you like.
No, I'll keep it safe. I've got places I can keep it. So.
You can tell he's like trying not to laugh. He's like,
Yeah, I guess that's all that I have for this time. Thank you so much. And if I can think of anything else, I'll be back for that rod if you're able to
I'll
make it
send you a
available for
message
me.
when I figure out what it's gonna cost you, and then you can tell me if you want to go ahead with that.
Okay, thank you so much.
Have a good day. Okay,
Then-
easy enough. Cool. You now have a pearl of power. Righty ho. Amalia, you there? Apparently not. Oh wait, here we go.
If she's not here, we can just Eldritch Prime next day delivery whatever she needs when we find her.
Hey, I getcha. Sorry, you're muted, babe. That's what everybody else is seeing the same thing. Like a little mute icon. Okay, the mute microphone icon is gone. How about now? I heard background noise.
I did too. I hear more. No, oh,
We hear background noise.
let's just go reconnect.
At some point, I'm just gonna buy her a new laptop.
Do you hear that? You just have to hold on to the illusion for a little while longer.
Fuck's sake.
Not in the call, so it's fine. Before I forget, where did you put the details for the stick?
Oh, so if you just search up Phineas's Wand of Power, F-Y-M-I-A-S. Okay, you're back in, babe. Say something.
Hi.
Hi.
Okay, can you hear now?
Yes, I can hear you now. What would you like to do? If you're saying some... And she's gone again.
How do I spell Phineas again?
F-Y-M should do it.
Yes. It is in my inventory. Perfect, thank you.
Cool, Violet is back again. You right, babe? Is everything okay?
Yeah, it's just for some reason Skype keeps cutting in and out for me. I don't know why.
Okie dokie. What would Amalia like to do today?
Go hunting for axes.
Okay, so the Crucible?
So probably go to Daxos first because he has really cool
Crucible,
axes and stuff.
Cool, yeah, so I'll say you went with Bithynia, and once she's done with her conversation, he turns to you, Amalia says, what can I help you with, Amalia?
I want an axe.
Do you want that axe? I've still got it.
How much was that axe?
I said 6,000, I believe, right?
I genuinely can't remember, to be honest. I didn't write it down.
1 second. Need to reference my notes. Apologies. No, actually, my bad. So, 3,000.
3. So as in 3, as in 1, 2, 3?
Yes.
And it becomes small and big, right?
Well, it's big and it becomes bigger.
How big we talking?
I showed it to you. Big
Yeah, you're
enough
gonna have to
deca-
show it again, Daxos.
Big enough to decapitate an ancient dragon. And he grabs the axe, which is a great axe under normal circumstances, i.e. you cannot wield this in one hand, with a blade that is wider than Scotinos' torso. And he swings it round a couple times just to give you an idea, and then he speaks a command word, and you watch as the haft triples in length, and the blade triples in size until it's the size of a desk, like a large, like corporate desk in terms of actual measurements, and it barely fits into the shop. And then after 6 seconds, it shrinks down again.
That is
Is it-
cool.
It's only good for 6 seconds though, so you gotta attack as much as possible when you use it that way. It still works as a normal axe otherwise. So yeah, to recap, it is called a... What did I call it? Oh, I don't know. I may not have added it to D&D Beyond. I apologize if that was the case. But it's called a Giant Craft Ambusher, created by Griffin Saddlebag on, which you can find him on Reddit or on his Patreon. And I'm genuinely surprised I didn't create it. This says, man, I am 10 out of 10 today. Yep, nope, did not create it. Okay, so, Giant Craft Ambusher. Okay, so the blade, which has like the stoic figure of a giant on its end, is has a bearded axe quality to it, but it's much blockier and wider as opposed to being thin. It has this sort of dark serrated iron texture to it on the in and of itself, and so it's a +1 axe under all circumstances. So +1 to hit, +1 to damage. And once per day, you can speak the weapon's command word, and it grows 3 times its normal size until the start of your next turn. While it's enlarged, the axe has the reach property, so it reaches 5 feet further than normal, and it deals an extra 2d12 slashing damage to any target it hits.
Oh. Yeah, I need that axe now.
He flips it, puts it on the counter, and that'll be 3,000.
Oakley dokley. Hand you over 3,000 gold pieces.
Oh. He happily takes the gold. Anything else I can help you with?
Yeah. Now that I have a cool axe, I need to kind of get rid of some weapons I might have.
Well, you look like you look after your weapons, so I may be able to resell them on. What do you have for me?
Okay, it's not that great, but I picked up a great club once. I just want to get rid of it. And, I don't want to sell my battle axe, but now that I have a new axe, I might have to.
I mean, you guys bought a house yet? You should, mount it up as a decoration.
but that might be a good idea.
You pull out the great club and show it to him, and he's like, "This is literally just a really, really thick branch."
Well, I'm not selling it to you. I'm just giving it to you. You might want it. I don't know.
Am I allowed to do anything I want with it?
Yeah.
Cool, I need firewood.
Basinia, do you want to go find the others?
Want or need? I guess.
Well,
It's a giant stick. What's he gonna do with a giant stick?
Well, she just wants to get rid of it. She doesn't want it
no,
anymore.
He'll take it off your hands if you're giving it away.
I think we I think there's something more to the stick. I don't think that we should give it away for free.
No, not the one stick.
Oh.
Literally just an actual giant club stick. That's from episode 5, I think.
Okay, I was a little nervous for a second.
No.
I was like, whoa.
No, she knows what she's doing. She kills people and then collects their weapons.
This is literally just an ordinary log that someone was using as a club that I have no idea why it was held on to this long, but...
For this very moment.
Yeah.
Continue.
Bye, Dasos.
Until next time.
I need a drink.
Cool. You guys are able to meet up again all eventually, which will probably be at Penelope's shop, given that's where Skotinos was staying, but you guys are able to find him eventually, remembering that's where he was staying. And, great. You guys are all together. What would you like to do?
You know, that woman was so rude to me. I don't know what I did to her. I wanted to buy more things from her, but she was just so rude, Judokia. I don't know what to do. I was very nice. I was very pleasant, and she just wasn't
like,
kind.
Oh yes, you have the picture of Grace. And she...
Okay,
like...
what the hell did we miss?
Is that a compliment? Or are you being rude?
I am 100% sincerely complimenting you.
Okay, thank you. Well, Amalia, there was this woman
Cool.
that
Wait, what's your passive insight?
$18.
Yeah, you don't fully believe her. She rolled a 14, and I don't remember what Eudokia's charisma modifier is, but I'm pretty sure she's not proficient in deception. Let me double check.
I explain what happened to Amalia with the mean shopkeep.
Amalia, were you logged into Skype when that happened?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, so these events are relayed to you.
Well, that's awkward. Also, I forgot that we already had diamonds. But I suppose more diamonds is useful.
You already had diamonds? You didn't help me?
Well,
Calliope says, I think we only had one, so can always use more?
You could have died, and I could have done nothing because nobody knew about these diamonds.
Yeah, I think it is right. I think it is just the one diamond. It was part of the reward we got from... I've lost my mead. Where's it gone? From the time we were at sea. Dealing with
we were
something
down
else.
under.
Indeed.
Yeah.
And truth be told, since I know Jason relinquished his rights to it technically. Eslin's technically also owned this as well, though I imagine she would be happy if it was used in some place, but it didn't seem quite right to just simply give the stuff away without having clarified with everyone who it is. We've still got it. We've got that. We've got small potatoes, actually. We've got another 1,000 gold pieces, and I think...
Didn't we have pearls at one point?
They've already been exchanged. We got that all dealt with, because who needs pearls? Not those kind of pearls. Sorry, no, different types of pearls. This is the time. This is the before time. Anyway, they were very nice pearls, but they weren't magical. I'm 40 to 60% certain they weren't magical. And we have a bit of extra gold as well. But it's like total maybe 1,500 gold pieces of a party fund that is not really. Well, half of them are gone now, I guess. He says, and then like he kind of just like slumps a little bit and just looks off.
Did you have?
I actually wasn't gonna bring this up until later, but I put it off for too long. I need to go find my sister, and I think it's something I need to do on my own.
Oh no! But Calliope, what happens when I step on a trap again?
She puts an arm on your puts a hand on your shoulder and says, "You're gonna be just fine."
Oh.
Some people jump
miss
over
you.
hurdles. You barrel through them. Keep on
You know,
barreling.
I was talking to Ronos last night, and he told me I had a spell called Find Traps. So now I have that. But I'll still miss you, though. I wish you the best of luck with finding your sister. Do you need me to send her a message that you're coming? Like, if you just transform into them, I can send them a message just to let them know.
She looks exactly like me. Do it, see.
Do you want me to send a message to them?
Actually, yeah. Tell her I love her and I want to try see her again.
I thought for a second I didn't have it prepared and I just did something really bad, but I do have it prepared. So, do you want me to actually say it or do I just do it?
Say, as in, actually, yeah, no, I would.
Do
How
the-
do you word this message?
Okay, so I
Um,
send.
Before you do,
Yeah.
if this helps, I just don't want you to accidentally send it to me. She carried this pendant that was a small brass swirl.
Swirl. Do you want me to say this or
No,
what?
just if it helps you visualize a distinction between her and myself.
Okay. I visualize and I send the message. I use sending. Okay.
What is the wording of your message?
Hello. I am friend Calliope. I'm not counting my own words. I hope someone's counting for me. She's looking for you. She loves you. I don't know how many words I have.
Oh, okay. Did you say those? Did you say that?
No, she did. I'll
Okay.
say.
All right.
Scotinos, the background blurring thing is kind of obscuring your fingers.
Okay, that's fine. You'll find out when you've run out. I'll say stop. Keep going.
I don't know where I was. She loves you. She's coming for you. Anyway, where are you? How are
That's-
you?
You get how, and that's it.
There's a moment's pause. And a slightly longer pause. Calliope's okay? Who are you? Where are you, people?
So, I don't think she really understood what my spell did, because it was just a lot of like, I don't know, stuttering sounds. So she didn't get her 25 words, which she does have. But she is glad you're okay. She wonders who I am, which I think I said who I was. I said, I'm a friend of yours. Anyways, not important. She didn't say where she was, so I don't know where she is. Do you want me to send another message?
Just
Why don't you use the item we've been trying to play around with, and you cast the sending into it? Then let Calliope talk with her.
I don't know how it works, but I'll do it.
I mean,
Calliope-
unless you're going to find it too awkward after reuniting after a long time, and then realizing it's taking you this long to realize you probably could have done this before.
Yeah.
I will
Really?
stick a hellhound on you, you horn fucker.
I will miss you too. And I place it on her head.
She attuned to the helm over an hour, so I'm guessing you guys have time to get lunch at this point.
Oh yeah, I continue
Yeah.
working on whatever I'm doing.
Once that's done, apparently you just cast the spell into the helm.
Okay, I cast sending.
Well, easy enough. You rest your hand and release the magic as you would, but it's with your intent, with the spell, it just seems to channel. You feel the warmth channel through your hand and out your palm and into the helm. And then the gem at the front glows. It's like, Calliope's like, I can feel it. And she just sits down in a corner. Hi, Calypso.
Take.
I don't know where you are, but I'm gonna come find you. We have a lot to talk about. I'll be in Altrizos. And then she nods after a moment, and you see just a couple tears begin to roll down her eyes, her cheeks. Takes her helmet off, hands it back to you.
Calliope, would you like a hug?
She just doesn't even wait for a response.
Yes. I hug back.
Barrels into you guys. I'm gonna set out straight away. I got a lot of ground to cover. She unfastens her cloak, hands it to you, Helira. Whoever wears this knows how to sail a boat, so worth thinking about who might be good to wield that.
Okay, thank you. I'll miss
She,
you.
She pulls out a long white crystal that's about this long, and I don't know who wants this, but it'll let you speak with the dead and speak with animals.
Oh, me. Can I hold it? I want to talk to animals. Give it.
She holds out the crystal to you as well. I'm keeping the wraps though, if you don't mind. I like them. Very well. It's not goodbye, but I'll see you around.
What, Calliope,
Yeah?
I still have the blue scarf you gave me when I got burnt. Do you want it back?
No, actually. Hold on to it. That way I'll always be with you, even just a little bit.
I don't
Funny you
want
should
to
mention
leave.
that. Oh yeah, do the soppy thing, and then I'll do my thing.
Love you too, Scotty. I don't want me to leave either, Amalia, but this is something I have to do, and I might be back, but, for the moment, This is goodbye.
Ah! And she like bores down into like a little kid and starts crying.
I will kind of stand
Calliope-
over her and kind of like sort of like fuss her a little bit. She'll be alright.
Calliope pulls you into a massive hug, Amalia.
I'm gonna miss you.
After a minute or so, she breaks the hug and walks over to you, Doki, and says, "It's not easy being like us, but you wear it well. Look after them." And Eudokia gives it's just a moment of understanding passes between the two of them. I'll be in touch. But before I go, I have this. He turns to you, Heliod, actually. So if it's any consolation, I actually can see glimpses of the future, and yet I never seem to use it. So would anyone like to know something just before I go?
Sure.
Would you like to know?
Oh no. Will I see him again? Will he be mad?
Calliope sits back, takes a deep breath, and repeats the question. And then she opens her eyes, which have completely rolled back until they're ghostly white. And then she speaks in Calliope's voice, but a second voice, which is not Calliope's voice. A much deeper, richer, sultry, almost matronly voice. That, simply says, "Nothing is so broken that it cannot be rebuilt." And then she's back in her body for a moment. Well, I hope that helped, for what it's worth. Right.
Thank you.
Right, I better get going.
Okay.
Not so fast.
Yeah.
And I just like shake a vial with a wry grin. You don't get away from us that
Jesus Christ.
easily.
Pulls out a dagger. Finds a tiny slit on her finger and just holds it over the vial until it fills up. Healing words. The cut shut.
And he kind of places it in, and just sort of like he writes with with his finger, uses the inkwell and kind of like writes a smudged CALAO, and then kind of gets a bit smaller because they can't fit the rest in. And you see him place it into the inner pocket, next to another vial with the only clearly definable letter is the J.
Calliope actually laughs at that. I'll miss you guys. Look after yourselves. And she heads towards the gates of the city, and after a moment, disappears into the crowd. Oh, she... Just before she left, she would have handed the Stop at Oasis back, because it's in the inventory, my inventory for some reason, so... Someone make a note of that. Calliope is no longer holding on to it, so someone else is going to have to. Cool. So, if you're choosing to hold on to both items, Hilira, you can go ahead and add a Seafarer's Cloak and a Stone Speaker Crystal to your inventory. As Calliope walks away, what would you guys like to do?
I am so depressed right now.
Yeah, because I imagine we've kind of done this outside of the Penelopes.
Yeah.
I kind of go in briefly, pack up the bits and bobs, so I've not left anything out there, and then I leave and I just make my way to the tavern.
Very well. I presume everyone is walking with. Alright. We'll say if you guys order a collective, amount, you can get a jug for about 12 silver pieces, a jug of wine, and maybe some nibbles. As in total, a gold piece for everybody's drinks and food.
Scotinus covers that for everyone, and then he gets a second jug for himself.
Mark off another 12 silver pieces. But a table is found easily enough, and you guys sat down enjoying your drinks.
Scotinos drinks in silence.
Ditto.
Bithynia sits there just tapping her finger kind of on her drink awkwardly.
Yes.
That kind of wasn't too attached one way or another, but can tell that, everyone's kind of beside themselves.
Is your cat there, Bithynia?
Yeah, Bithynia's here. With her cat.
Yeah,
Couple.
I'll probably be like using my cantrip light to like try and light up their wings, just like yeah, because the awkward silence can't handle it, and she needs to do something.
The cat's got like that, like when they put that cheese on the cat's head, it was like, or with the tinfoil, it was like, the cat's got the look on its face.
Couplet's like, what is going on? Couplet at this point just kind of notices the somber mood of the group and just kind of jumps up on the table to see if anyone needs pet therapy or cuddles.
Yeah.
Question.
Yeah.
What time would it be in Medicis right now?
Everyone's been doing, it'd be about late afternoon. So you guys could probably be having dinner at this point.
So if it's late afternoon, would a gym be open?
The gym could be open.
Alright, Amalia's gonna go to the gym because she needs to get her anger out and her depressing out right now.
Okay.
Scotinus offers to keep your wine safe for you.
And by safe, I mean he can drink it. Yeah, okay.
Very well. You are able to find a gymnasium, a open air sand pit, basically, that's got various different instruments available. What's that thing called? That's like a log that's got the two handles on it. They sometimes use in gymnastics.
Pump a horse.
I know what you're talking about. I don't know what it's called though.
Yeah, that thing. But anyway. So, there's one of those and a whole bunch of other things. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, it's a pommel horse.
Absolutely cover that in a moment, Bithynia. What would you like to, how would you like to vent, Amalia?
Okay, is there some sort of like punching bag per se?
There are various sandbags which can be set up in a fashion, yes.
Then yes, she's gonna need 5 of those.
Okay. they're able to provide them. The guy who takes one look at you and just says, 1 gold to replace them.
She hands over 5 gold pieces.
Fair enough. Pleasure doing this. And he just hands you these vaguely human-shaped sandbags. One of them even has "kick me" written on the back. But yeah, he's able to prop them up on sticks for you.
Yeah, she goes to town beating the crap out of them.
Alright, go ahead and make just an athletics check in general.
$19.
Yeah, sure enough, you, just the loud slams of your fists against the, sandbags echo throughout this gym, and just boom, 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 one after the other as, in a methodical but unmistakably anguished fury, you systematically destroy these, training dummies one by one. How long do you spend there?
She goes back to the thing and hands the guy another 6 gold pieces, asking for another 6.
At that point, you see as you go to hand him the, gold, you see a hand sort of put your hand down, Amalia, a female hand, and, you turn to see a, sort of auburn-haired woman with sort of, curly auburn hair that goes down her back, toned, overall toned body, wearing nothing but, a wrap around her, chest area and a wrap around, the groin, and says, I think I have something better, Bealtes. Don't worry about it.
I don't need your charity.
Just, have something that might be up more your alley. And, she says, follow me for a moment.
Fine. She follows.
She leads you back out into this sort of open area sand pit. And, rolls her shoulders. When I'm not at the, Decatia, this is where I like to come and unwind, actually, in a similar fashion. And I find it's always much more stress-relieving when they shatter. And she casts Stone Shape, and, just raises out of the ground a clay warrior in, like, a snarling pose. And then just starts producing more of these things out of the ground. One after the other. It's like terracotta soldiers, basically.
Okay. But they're made out of stone, right?
Like, not like stone, like a clay stone. Like, you could shatter it.
And you're doing this, why?
It always helps me, and, you seem like you need to vent about something. And she, grabs a staff from one of the weapon racks and just tosses it to you. And you catch it. It's a big wooden quarterstaff. Use this. It's a little easier on your knuckles when striking stone.
Yeah, I get that, but I kind of need to use my hands for this.
Very well. And she takes the staff back. Cool. So you have a dozen or so clay soldiers that you can beat to death.
Okay, she does that then.
And you're right, like, these ones, you punch one and it just explodes into a million tiny clay fragments under the weight of the sheer force of your Leonin punch, and then boom, another one, and boom, another one. Within a few minutes, you've dispatched all of them, and it's much more satisfying because these aren't designed to just absorb your punch so you can exercise like the sandbags were. You feel a bit of catharsis from the sheer destruction.
How bad are my paws, though? Like, are they bleeding? Are they, like...
You took, I'll say, for all of them, 10 points of bludgeon damage. They're not bleeding, but they are very bruised. Whilst this is going on, Bithynia, you can easily enough find the very famous Pegasus stables of Meletis that arm their platoons of flying chariots. And, you approach them as they are near some of the military fortification areas, and you're greeted by a young boy, about 12 years old, blonde, very like a shock of blonde curly hair. He's in the process of sweeping the front door. Oh, good evening to you. How might we be of assistance?
Hello, yes. I am curious if you happen to have any Pegasus that I might be able to secure as a mount.
I will talk to my mother. And runs into the back. And about a minute later, a slightly stockier, equally blonde-haired woman who has it up in a tight bun that has a few loose curls that fall off, comes stepping out. Ah, always a pleasure to receive esteemed members of the Decatia. Right this way, and
Hello.
she leads you through the room, and then sort of beyond the house there is a paddock that's doubles as almost like the paddock ends where there's a cliff. And it sort of just goes down into the rocky shores below. And yeah, sure enough, there are several dozen beautiful white Pegasi. Some in various states of sleeping or grazing, or others floating about the rocks.
Okay, so I am curious if you have any suggestions for these and any information about these. I'm in need of something, a Pegasus. For general purpose use, nothing wild.
They're incredibly loyal beasts. Obviously, make sure to feed them on a regular basis. They definitely need to be exercised, so make sure you, at very least, give them some stimulation by doing slightly more engaging maneuvers, or at least giving them a place that's interesting to roam, like cliffs or mountainous faces.
Okay.
They have to be reared from foal to be able to be ridden in such a way, or to be commanded to pull a chariot. So we generally ensure they're quite temperate and will readily take on a new rider, but it isn't always the easiest. We do have She thinks for a moment. Some of our younger I don't know what the term is. Some of our younger foals that have recently come into adulthood may be appropriate, and she does a series of very specific whistles and a couple horse and like 3 or 4 of these Pegasus gather together. One of them comes trotting over, another floats and flies down. Any one of these would make a fine steed for the proudest warrior or person in general.
Okay, and you said that they were loyal to one rider?
We make sure that they're loyal to their rider, yes. They're not necessarily loyal to just one rider, but there are very specific commands that can be taught that will let them know that you are a friend.
And how are they with cats or threesomes? Other winged beings?
I mean, they're trained to go into battle, so a cat should be no problem.
Okay. And do you have the opportunity for boarding should I return?
Oh, yes, of course. In fact, many of these are pre-owned and simply reside here when not in use.
Okay. And the ones that you have available, have any of them been pre-owned before, or are they new to me? No miles on them?
All the ones I'm showing you are entirely new to you. When I say pre-owned, I mean currently owned, as in belongs to someone existing.
Okay. Do any of them have names already, or do they have any particular looks? Or
This one is the eldest of the bunch here. She pulls forward this one that has slightly longer hair, that's more like just let loose and flowing. This one is called Duchess. She's a little bit feisty, very much earns her name, is very proud of herself, but she, if given her due course, and she does like this little fake bow, will carry you into whatever foray you're going into quite dutifully.
And what does the eldest one look like?
So that's Duchess, the one with the longer hair. This one on the hand, this little troublemaker is called Wildlight. And this one, his hair is, so it's been pulled into like, almost like little braid things. I don't know if you've ever seen like a Mycenaean warhorse. So it's got like these little palm tree things, like bulbs, like one after the other that go up his back, as in his hair's been pulled into it. He is downright cheeky, he will. He'll lick your face. He'll come up to you in the night and try to lick your face, but he's very easygoing and will happily,
And you said his name was what?
Wildlight.
Wildlight?
Yeah.
Well, I don't have a... This is such a hard. I wish I could take them all home. I wish there was like a shelter where I could adopt Pegasus, but I'm here to buy new. So, I guess, shucks. I will go...
There's also, this one, and she pulls one that's, Duchess and Wildlight both have sort of been quite, displaying of their personalities. Wildlight's been like, he's like come up to you and licked your cheek. And the Duchess is sort of standing quite regally. This one is a bit more, casual in its demeanor. This one is, much more lively and, mirthful once it's in the air. Very much prefers flying to, just being on the ground. This one is called Matica. And,
Matica.
Oh, sorry, no, I got that wrong. I got them mixed up in my notes. This one is, we call her Plummet.
Plunt?
Plummet. She, loves to do big, dives and swoops.
Plummet.
Very much a, daredevil, this one.
Decisions. A flying horse that likes the name Plummet, which is arguably better than Plunt, because that could get dicey while flying real quick in what people hear. So, Plummet? Trying to think. Plummet.
DM's note, this will have no bearing on their actual rider ability or stuff like that. I'm just throwing a bunch of flavor in, so...
I enjoy the flavor because I am interested in the personality going forward in terms of dice rolls and such, because I understand a fall can be dastardly, I guess. Yeah, let's oof. Gosh. And I'm here alone. I have analysis paralysis in which Pegasus I want. Well, actually, I'm a liar. I wanted one that can fly, and you sold me on Plummet. Although the Regal thing is nice, I've got a posh enough place, and I think the second one I've already forgotten about. So, Plummet it is.
Very well. So, go ahead and mark off 5,000, I believe I said, right?
4K.
I'm sure you're right, I'm just double checking. But yeah, go ahead and mark off 4,000. Yes, go ahead and mark off 4K. You are now a proud owner of a Pegasus.
I got a Pegasus.
You are responsible for this creature's saving throws.
I'm sorry if anyone wanted a Blaze. I just bought a Pegasus. Okay, so I'm not entirely sure what the flight rolls are in town. You'd think that I would know this. So can I like fly away now, or like do I need to get a saddle or I've never owned a thing. I don't even know this NPC's name. What is this this woman's name that's a stable owner?
Aspasia.
Aspasia. Do I need anything before I leave here? Is this am I bareback riding this thing, or like what is going on here? Like
a saddle
just jump on and go?
A saddle is included in the price of the beast.
Okay.
So
woo.
there is rigging and saddle to be had. It's a basic saddle, so you need to purchase saddle bags and stuff like that separately, but you could if you wanted to. Yeah, no, you spend about 30 minutes as she teaches you the different commands and how to pronounce them, and pretty soon you've got this horse ready to rear and go, and you climb aboard and boom, straight up into the sky. And you just leave the stables behind you as pretty quickly you can see just Melody sprawling below you, all the different lights down below.
Like the air going through my hair, so I hold on.
Yep. Exactly.
There's couplets between my, like, in front of the saddle, just like, ah!
You definitely feel little claws digging into you as Couplet is holding on, like...
Not used to being with something else bigger than him that can fly.
Yep. And you do realize how Plummet gets her name, because every once in a while, just on a whim, she'll pull into a massive dive. That's like straight up like hawk going for a small bunny, kind of like voom. But after about 300 feet, we'll pull up again.
Whee! It's like organized chaos with this Pegasus.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
definitely loves the fancy aerial maneuvers. Gets off on those.
Pegasus and Pony Show, we're here.
Cool.
Okay.
I assume you would try fly back to the group.
Yeah, I can. I think down below I can see them organized. So I don't think they're in a building. Are they outside? I don't actually know.
They're in the tavern, but you guys do hear a vroom and like the sound of hooves slamming into the pavement.
It's a bit of a rough landing, but Bithynia gets off, dismounts, Couplet jumps. I'm guessing the Pegasus is probably above her shoulder height, so Couplet's able to jump down and she attaches the rein to the Pegasus hook, Pegasus station, and
you hear loud singing coming from what is unmistakably Scotty's voice on the inside. Like really...
The Pegasus raises an eyebrow, like unsure what's going on over here, and Couplet's unfazed. as am I. So into the tavern, Bithynia goes to see.
Scotty is drunkenly.
Yeah, he's gotten, so he's probably just been like at this point most of the wine and everything that's left behind has been drunk, and he is happily singing away, although the contents of his song seem far less joyous. So by the point that you get in, I'm probably about halfway through my song, which is there. So you get him going, "Drink from the rotten vine, its texture bittersweet. Drink from the fetid wine, for your life is no better than mine. Drink from the wine, your life is no better than mine. Had friends grow closer, for they ran from my arms. Had family once fonder, flee in fear from my charms. Had many a mystery been unearthed and solved, yet there is no pain deeper than the Drink from the rotten vine, its texture bittersweet. Drink from the fetid wine, for your life is no better than mine. Drink from the wine, your life is no better than mine. And he cheers and downs the rest of the jug that he's got. And by that point, the thaumaturgy fades.
There's a really shit-faced, slightly chubby Leonin in the corner who's like, "Oh, that's a song I haven't heard in a while." And he just face plants into the table.
I'm not sure if we should encourage this, Eudokia. I'm kind of worried.
Eudokia says, "Just needs to get it out of him."
I know, but what if he gets into a bar fight, you know? I'm not prepared for
a bar fight. I'm sure he can handle himself, but...
Okay.
And she says, "I'm not going anywhere, but I do have to go do something, so I'll probably see you later."
Okay, should I get us sleeping arrangements?
I think this place has rooms, is one option, and she looks at, I assume Bithynia, you go to join the table. She looks at, the three, or you and Bithynia, and says, "I mean, if we're planning on making this into a thing, maybe we should look at somewhere to put our heads down when we're back in the city."
Yeah, maybe. You know, we should really discuss, because there might be a chance that maybe in this party there are people like on the run or something. We should probably discuss that before we get a house or something. I don't know.
Let's discuss
Bithynia
it.
looks at this and she's like, do you have birthing on your ship?
Someone gave birth to a ship?
Yes. Sleeping accommodations. I have a flat. I do have a flat, for what it's worth. However, it is not a long-term solution. However, do we have the ability to sleep on the ship?
There is an ability to sleep on the ship. It's not super comfortable. The ship is a trireme, which historically didn't really have anything resembling cabins due to the interior having to be occupied by oarsmen. So, in IRL history, ancient Greeks actually would never sleep on ships. They would park them on islands every night, which they could afford to do since there were so many Greek islands. In the purposes of the game, it is possible to sleep on a ship. It's not the most comfortable thing. It's basically a bedroll on a wooden floor. So, you guys could absolutely sleep there for the evening. I would probably say roll for back problems around day 10 if you guys continue to do.
Should we, for tonight, sleep on the ship and then tomorrow discuss it further? Because I don't know where Amalia went, but I think she just needed
I'm
a
gonna
moment.
stay in the tavern. She might be back, and we have a room set up anyway.
I can message her. I can send her a message and just tell her to go to the boat, even though I don't know where the boat is. Does Amalia know where the boat is? Where is
Unless
the
we
boat?
moved it.
I mean, Hilary, I believe that I have room for +1. If there's a room already and you're here in town, I have accommodations in my home. They're not extravagant by any means, but it's free.
Well, I don't mind. Yeah, sure. That would be great. Thank you.
Very well. I'll say, unless anyone wishes to do anything in particular for the evening, you all eventually, Scotty and Amalia, find the rooms in the tavern and sleep there, while Heliada, you are brought to Bithynia's residence, which is a larger structure that seems to be several houses joined together, and leads you up to the topmost one, which is a very nice-looking studio apartment-sized abode that is adorned with surprisingly nice art upon the walls, different mosaics, some ornamental pottery and other good things on the shelves. But all in all, yeah, it's a nice little setup. There is there's a few couches. It's quite cozy.
And we both have a Pegasus,
Both?
right?
Wait.
Or is yours a unicorn?
Mine is a unicorn.
It's so close. It's a little
What's your Pegasus's name? Where are they sleeping, your Pegasus?
Can I park
tonight?
them on the roof?
Sure. Why
There's
not?
a rooftop garden up there. Maybe.
Cool.
I'll allow it. There is a rooftop garden up there.
Would
A
they
helipad with the letter P.
What was that?
A helipad
What
with the letter P.
Oh, I
There's
don't
a
have it.
rooftop garden above my Melodies Manhattan suite. The Pegasus parked up top. Rooftop
Yep.
parking.
Pretty much. There is there's a communal terrace on the top that has some pottery and stuff like that, like a garden. But yeah,
Some, like, potted grape plants and stuff around the perimeter, and
it's a
nice
neat
view
little
of the
setup.
university in the distance. Walking distance.
Essentially,
yeah. Yeah. So sleepover it is. And so into the the suite we go.
Sleep comes easily enough to the two of you, and after the alcohol and exhaustion from punching, and easily enough to the two of you as well. And you guys come to next morning, sore, hungover, and tired, but Heliada, you're able to bathe at the local bathhouse if you so wish, and make yourself look perfect again.
Do we want to go to the bathhouse? Bithynia, do you want to go to the bathhouse?
Yeah, let's go. Let's go.
And you know the city
Yes.
quite well, Bithynia. You know you have the option of some of the more public bathhouse places, which would be sort of these large communal baths, or you could spend a bit of money and go somewhere specific if you so wished. It would be up to you.
So, Hilary, question for you. Would you like something to be more, a little bit smaller, more quaint, but further away, or more public, but closer? We have a few options here.
I'd like a little bit more private. Should we get the rest together if they want to have a bath as well? Should we get the others? Because we're missing half of the party.
I presume you guys would have headed that way.
Oh.
Yeah. I'm imagining you guys walking and talking at this point.
Okay.
I just am a fan of making executive disorders ahead of time. I know the city better than anyone else here, so it's just a matter of what we feel is best for us.
Yeah, I don't really know a lot about you, Bithynia. Where are you from here? What did you do before you met the party? Like, tell me about yourself.
I'm pretty basic. You know that I am here, born and raised, and I am a professor at the university. More of a researcher than anything, but I'm here, and I am well versed in not only the layout of the city, but also the people who preside and or reside or are in control for various reasons. Both by family and opportunity.
Molly, didn't you say one of the bathhouses tried to kill you once? Or did I dream that up?
Amalia?
That's
Yeah?
just because... Didn't you say, Amalia, that one of the bathhouses tried to kill you once?
How drunk are you?
Listen, I'm hungover. I'm not drunk. I just remember you saying it once.
I just remembered, actually. Sorry, just quick little flashback. Skotinos, after a little bit of singing, you're sort of, you would be back set at the table after your 18th cup of wine, and you just absentmindedly pull the stick out, and you see its true appearance.
Yeah, I think probably that point, that's when I was going into the full... that's what kind of inspired him to get into his drunken stupor, or his singing stupor. He'll still have the stiff with him.
And weirdly enough, you know exactly what it does after holding it. In this current state.
Can't remember much now. It's all a bit of a blur from last night. No, Amali, I'm sure you mentioned that you did something. You had a job, and the bath. Maybe it just you fell in the water and drowned. I don't know. I just remember you mentioning something like it.
Nothing like that has ever happened to me.
Oh. Okay. Well, in that case,
As a
I know this
DM,
really good.
Just one tear going down my face.
I tried. I gave the option. In that case, I know read.
Amalia, do you
good
recall the
value.
blister coil elemental that was a combination of like fire and water into like this boiling water elemental that almost killed Ganassi?
I don't know then.
That was ages ago. Do you really think I remember that? Especially when I'm
I've slept
sick.
since then.
I don't know how much help we are. I could barely remember how much money I had, and I counted it.
Also, Ganassi annoyed me half the time, so I don't remember.
That is fair. So yes, that happened at the Amaranthe sect public bathhouse.
Maybe you get a discount there.
Do I?
I don't know. I was thinking Amalia might. Oh, I mean, I'm fine. I can remember I can remember the last time I went to a bathhouse. That's about all I'll say on that subject, but I can remember it.
You know the bathhouse that Amalia mentions, the Amaranthe sect one. It's a public building. It's like a silver piece to get in.
We can go that one. Unless anyone else wants to go somewhere else.
Wow.
To the bathhouse!
Alright. You guys come up on the building, which is in the sort of mid-sections of the town. After walking, I'll say, yeah, no, about an hour from where you guys are. But Amalia, you recognize it when you actually get to see it. And yeah, it's the same marble columns with the clay roof over the top, and You step inside, you're greeted at the door by a female Triton who is a shocking midnight blue with a pale azure for the webbing on her fins. Hi, 5 of you? Eudokia has rejoined you guys at this point. Very well, 5 silver pieces. Enjoy your stay. Let us know if you require any towels or anything of the sort. They are available for rent for a copper, I believe. Alright, and yeah, you are able to pay for admission, and for, I'd say, 2 copper each, you're also able to rent a small storage space for your belongings. And yeah, standard pool setup. So you got like little lockers and things like that. Yeah, so there is this large, as in Olympic pool-sized, but obviously relative to the limits of archaic technology. But it's about like 150 by 50 feet. This just large bath that is, I'd say, this is like middle of the week kind of thing, so, and middle of the day, so there's maybe 50 other people using it at the moment. Men and women of various different ages, all quite happily in the buff, inside the pool. And what you do notice, you know exactly how this, you know exactly the mechanism beneath it, Bithynia, that continually filters and cleans the water. But to you, Hilira, you just see the water seems to drain in these grates in the ground and continually be pumped out these little side vents, clean enough to drink, almost. You, Bithynia, are aware that there is a controlled water elemental beneath the complex that basically uses its hydrokinesis to separate water from anything that's not water, in order to keep the place clean. And you know there is also a controlled fire elemental which acts as the boiler. And yeah, you guys dip a toe in. It's nice and piping hot, quite pleasant. There is soap available and all the other various amenities. And yeah, it is easy enough to drop the towels and get in and enjoy.
Can a Satyr cannonball?
Make
In fact, you know, it happens either way.
Make an athletics check.
All right, okay. 14, but I'm gonna use my mirthful leap to get some greater height.
Oh yeah, I'm factoring your mirthful leap into the DC.
Fantastic.
So yeah, you do a nice jump, and it's a it's very graceful sploof in. So you do cannonball. You don't quite, you know, cause a tidal wave if that's what you were hoping for.
That's alright. Kind of like swim back up and go. It was better when I had that cloak. And just off I go.
Well, okay, so the water pops out at like 5.5 feet depth, so it's like about 1.60 meters deep. So you actually, as you plop down, feel your butt lightly touch the bottom, and you are very grateful it was not any shallow. But there's not really any swimming back. You guys are all able to quite easily stand. How tall is everybody?
Ooh. I'm 5'2", so I can't stand.
Oh wow, yeah. There are steps.
It's how deep?
I mean, to be honest, it's about 5 feet deep. It's designed for people to be able to stand at it, and there's a slightly elevated section at one end as well. So you can stand at it, Hilira, but you're kind of, you're slightly upturned, your head is slightly upturned so that your chin sticks out of the water.
I'm 5'7", so I'm fine.
Amalia, it just comes up to like maybe her rib cage.
Of course it does.
5'11"
And yeah, just-
for Scotty. And his guy goes past. He's definitely gonna like do a bit of a loop and then like splash Amalia, like try and like get like a splash into her ear as from the side.
This is why no one likes you.
I like you! As I'm treading water.
Eudokia strips off as well, and joins you guys. Well, nothing like communal nudity as a bonding experience.
There's something
Just-
I never heard anyone say.
Grabs a bar of soap and begins applying it to herself.
What is everyone else's plans for until the money runs out? Because I'm very happy just drinking and I guess doing a bit of work at Penelope's. I think I'm making progress. I think I'm learning. But I mean, the drinking is also pretty good. I also plan to meet up with Galatea this afternoon. See how her and the little one are doing. They probably should be back by now from their hunt. Other than that, I have no will or wish to do anything.
Eudokia says, do we want somewhere nicer to sleep in a bit more permanently?
I don't know, like, what would be the point anyway? He says, Katina says, he's now kind of like back treading a little bit, and his hooves are kind of like splashing like really weirdly as he kind of like keeps himself up there as well. Like, if people stick around long enough, then sure, but Jason's gone, Eslin's got her own place, and family's doing that thing. Calliope's off looking for a sister. You guys might be off. Like, it's a lot of money to put down if no one's gonna.
Stay.
I'm gonna go for a lap, and he kind of goes, and for the first time, you can kind of see that the mask has slipped a little, and he just goes off on a swim.
Eudokia says, well, I don't have any plans to go anywhere for the moment. She says kind of jokingly. How about you, Bithynia?
Well, I am planted here, and I have a job which, I didn't come here with too much money, so I'll need to hopefully be in the position where I can continue to work because my studies are important to me. However, I will be able to adventure on the comment of the housing situation. I think it could be a good idea. However, like I said when we first met, I am totally in for an adventure. And if we pick up the ship and go at whatever time, that's also a possibility for me.
Sorry. Hilira, any plans to scamper off?
Well, to be honest, I kind of left everything I had. So I'm okay for another adventure if we want.
And Hilaria, where again was that? Where was it that you left things?
You never did say, actually.
Because I don't recognize, your armor and such and what you wear is familiar, but
Yeah, Hilira, splash, splash, splash. Like doing so like slowly circling, go, tell us your secret, splash, 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 and then go off again.
Scotty, quit being a dick.
Well, I'm actually from, I want to say this right, from Akros?
Akros, but...
Akros. So, yeah.
Akros, and how far? And you said that you were sent, right? You were sent with the messenger here, or am I remembering things?
I was sent here. Yeah, I was sent here by Ronos, the messenger of the gods.
Point of
That's
order,
right.
actually. You get, just for clarification as a DM, you guys immediately recognize the name Akros. It evokes imagery of the mightiest warriors of Theros. The famed fortress guarded over by the Colossus of Akros that is built within the Cataclysm Mountains and has held
Titan
at bay
Stairs?
yeah, and has held at bay the forces of the Minotaurs of Phoberos for millennia. Famously, no one has ever breached the gates of Akros.
And that is so curious. My uncles are totally into the world of yeah. Anyways, that's amazing. That's just north of here. My uncles have talked to me. They're the ones who raised me, and that's amazing. And there's minotaurs there.
You know, there are a couple Minotaurs there, but Akrons in general are a bit more they're less diverse than Meletis. Much more of a traditionalist, proud, ancient warrior culture. Basically Sparta. For lack of a easier way to describe it. Basically Sparta.
Yeah, I've read about it and cataloged things at the university from Akros. If you ever want to see any of it, I'd be happy to show you. We have plenty of it at the university.
That'd be really cool. Yeah.
The weapons you actually cataloged that Tempest found were of the Akron king Brigax, who was part of the Akron War, which is Theros' equivalent of the Trojan War. So he's the equivalent. Brigax is the equivalent that I designed of Menelaus, if anyone is familiar with Homer's Odyssey, to the Iliad, to the extent that I am. Menelaus was the one who fought Paris. He was the original husband of Helen of Troy.
So then my question for you, Hilary, you said you left everything behind there. What kind of accommodations would meet your needs compared to where you were, what you had back home?
Well,
At that point, you hear in your ear a familiar voice, "Oh, she's got you there, princess. I don't know if a personal foot rubber is in their budget."
Maybe we shouldn't. What's the word?
pry?
Splash, 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 splash.
Yeah,
Well,
that. And I also feel like you guys are giving her the third degree. She wants to tell us. She'll tell us.
I'm asking her questions that are in line with what I've asked you because I wasn't familiar with whether or not you slept on the ship, and that wasn't an issue to find out that. I'm here
Becky chimes
only
in.
to...
Obviously, you don't have to answer anything if you're not comfortable, Helira. We're just, trying to understand each other, I think. We're all friends here.
Did I hear that? Was that whisper something other people could hear?
No, only Helira heard that.
I think I'm gonna go for a lap round as well.
Raisha! I say as I'm already like a meter ahead of you. But I imagine it's not hard to catch up.
I'll join in as well for the race.
The thing is that she's like just here. She is indifferent about the race because she...
Eudokia is in the process of applying scented oils to her hair and just looks at you, Bithynia. I don't know, I was accustomed to finery once upon a time, and I don't mind roughhousing it, but knowing I have a comfy bed sounds nice. And look at it this way, if nothing else, it'll be a place for the people who aren't with us to return to when and if they do. Amalia, make a Constitution saving throw.
For Christ's sake, what did you do, Morse?
What did you think is... Okay, yeah, it's me, but still.
What is it?
A Constitution saving throw.
I cast Hold Person
Yes,
on
21.
you, Skittiness.
Scottinos,
Okay,
make
cool.
a wisdom save. Okay, Scottinos,
Oh,
you try to use...
shit.
So, casting chemokinesis on Amalia is the blood magic equivalent of trying to lift a like brick of lead that's like 5 tons heavy. It just nothing happens. Scottinos, wisdom saving throw is
Was that hold person, by the way?
yeah, you do have advantage because you are a saver.
Can I
Oh, actually, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Hold person doesn't work on Scottinos because he is considered Fey, not humanoid. It is one of the racial perks of a saver.
Yeah. I mean, and this the high lift is like literally like there was no chance of me ever winning anyway. But yeah, it's fine. We get to the end. It's very it was very obvious that I attempted to cheat, but oh.
Scotty?
It's quite funny. There's one other Leonin who's in the process of bathing himself, and what you gather would be an enormous proud mane is now just like down by the passive roof. Yeah, he's like, oh, that's always hate having to do this, but in the name of civility.
Yes, Amalia.
You're not gonna leave, are you?
I swim over and I give her a hug.
Because I swear to God, if you leave, I will hunt you down, and and then she kind of like purrs a little bit and nestles into his hug.
I miss them too. I'm kind of gotten a little bit used to it though. Can't lie. And where did we leave our belongings, by the way, when we got in? Were they just like by the side, or were they?
There were lockers for lockers.
Cool. I'll show you something later. Doesn't matter. But in short,
The
no.
lockers are within sight.
Okay. Then I get out. I kind of bring over my kind of overalls. And so I get back into the water because I'm suddenly like, oh god, it's cold, it's cold, it's cold, it's very cold. Okay, and I'll open up the inside, and probably up to this point, you've only really seen him open open it maybe like arms, like sort of like arms empty. Kind of seen that he's got like the layers of vials, most like quite a lot of them fairly empty. On one side, you can see the ones that seem to be like the weird blood bits and bobs that have been taken from kills and so forth. But on the other side is the ones that you can see the letter J, which then like the A and I and S seem to have kind of been smudged off by the tiny piece of hemp that's kind of holding it in place. You can see Calliope on there as well. And then he opens it up a little further, and you see a row of about probably close to 20 other vials that have names on them there as well. You see, let me get the list. You see Alexandros, Iasonos, Leonidas, Angelino, Ajax 1, Ajax 2, Argus, Belinda. And then the rest seem to be ones where the names have kind of like smudged off and you can't really read them anymore.
Scotty, who?
Oh. They said they were friends once too, but then the big world, everyone has to go for other reasons. That one's my mother though. Pointing to the one, Belinda. You can see actually like the stopper on there as well as like a small white petal that's kind of adorning the top of the stopper there. And And one of these wands, he points to the 2 Ajax wands, is my dad's. I'm not sure which one it was, so I asked for blood from both of them.
But if it helps, I'm not going to leave you.
I know, he says, and he opens it up and he shows where your vial is positioned in there as well. This way, even if people do go, then I know a part of them stays with me.
Wow, I never knew this about you. You're quite sentimental.
He splashes water at your face.
I'm not going to tell anyone. You're
Come
still being an asshole to everyone else.
Yeah, well. And he wraps up his jacket and gets up, and then he makes to get up, and he stops and goes, I should have expected something when we were down in Thassa. I know that if I found my family again, and if they wanted me back, but
I think it's the fact that Jason left when Eslen left. That's what we weren't expecting.
well, I guess we have a way to keep in touch from time to time. Might ask if we, every so often, maybe every week or so, send a message to Jason, see how he's doing. I miss that pain in the ass.
Yeah, he was like a dad. Like, he'd be a good dad, I feel. And you're the annoying little brother I wish I never had, but I'm glad I have you.
And he smiles. He goes to say something else, and then sort of goes, nah, and gets out and puts his stuff back in the locker, and then goes and continues swimming.
All right. You guys.
Can I?
Yeah.
Sorry, can I swim over to Amalia?
Yes, you can.
Okay.
No need to apologize. I said no need to
Amalia!
apologize. Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
No.
You did it again!
Amalia, can I ask you a question?
Yeah, go on.
Well, when we were in that, dungeon thingy with the fighting kobolds, there was this, I want to say Leonin, but I'm not sure because I didn't write it down. But he said something to you right before he banished you, which to me sounded like you two knew each other a little bit. I just wanted to ask if you're okay with that part. I know Calliope and stuff. I was like, ugh. But I just wanted to ask about that part.
Well, I didn't know him per se. I just knew what he supposedly stood for. Or at least used to stand for before he was there, if that makes sense. Let's just say when I was little, I wanted to be like him. But that didn't work out.
What happened?
Long story. Kind of a bit of a family feud, per se. I wasn't allowed to be a kid, so...
Well, sometimes parents really, really do a number on you.
Yeah, let's just say if I ever saw my dad, I would rip him limb from limb and stab him in the face. Sorry about that.
I think I understand the feeling. But if you ever want to share more, just know I'll listen.
I like you.
I like you too. Could you help me, please? Because I'm really small and I'm treading water here and I don't know how long I'm going to be able to do this. Could you just put your feet up so I can hang in between the legs? Because I'm afraid.
She leans back and puts her feet up in the.
And I'm like a child, like over the arms, just over the legs, like, yeah, I've done it now.
All
Better?
right. You guys are able to wash the last week off, and you all feel better for it. And a sense of renewal perhaps comes over you guys somewhat. But when all is said and done, you guys are gathering your things, putting your various garments back on. And Eudokia says, alright, so, no on the abode then. Very well. In that case, where to now?
Before we go anywhere, Eudokia,
Mhm.
Bithynia, kind of, owe you an apology. I'm sorry I snapped at you too.
No worries. It's okay, I know what it's like to, I have people I wish I could still see. As well. She hugs him.
It's a little too early to make plans for a home, I think. Maybe we'll see how we get on. If we don't get sick of each other.
Or don't
Two.
kill anyone.
Okay, that too. I haven't checked the notice board. I still need to do stuff with Penelope. Galatea is probably wondering where the hell I am, actually. And there's a underwater pit that needs filling at some point, but or tomb that needs dealing with, but that's probably on the long-term agenda.
Well, I'll
Alright.
go wherever you guys go, so just let me know where we're going.
Well, actually, saying that, you could go to Penelope. I could probably go check the notice board, and then maybe after that, I might go visit Hithelspice. Just to see if he's okay.
Yeah, sure.
Whose place?
Oh, there's this magic tree that we gave animals to.
Thistle
Just to
Spine,
keep
right?
Thistlespine.
You said I think just saying Thistle by itself threw me off. I didn't come through on the on Skype very well. Very well. You guys set about, and just before you guys break to do it, Yudoka says, "Yeah, let's do it all." And as you guys set about to go and take care of your various things, I'll say, yeah, that's where we'll end tonight's session.
Aww.
And everybody levels up to level 8.
See, shopping does pay. It's awesome.
I have to
Yes.
tell the Daphne about that, but yeah, we can have individual or group chats about different things regarding leveling up and whatnot, what people would like to do. But yeah, thank you guys so much to anyone who might have tuned in even for a little bit. We love you all very much. Yeah, there won't be a session next week as the Dungeon Master has other commitments, but we hope to return the week after that with Daphne back as Eudokia again.
Yay.
I'll message her about that. All right, we love you all. Have a good evening.
Bye.
Bye.